So the Batman movie with Ben Affleck is going to be, or it's slated for release in 2019. So a couple years from now, well after Justice League, or I guess a year after Justice League comes out. Which Wonder Woman was a good movie. Hopefully that is an indication of where the DC movies are going to go to, and if so, I'm on board. Now, it always struck me odd that you had I want to say 2012 was when the Dark Knight trilogy that Christopher Nolan directed came to a close with Dark Knight Rises. That was the same year that we had the first Avengers movie come out. And it seemed like, and I know that I believe, Christian Bale, he didn't want to be Batman anymore after that. That's fine. You ended things, though, with, there was a lot of talk at the time about Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like, actually doing something with that role, because at the end of, you've seen the movie, right? Dark Knight Rises, where he finds the Batcave and he, like, activates the, platform coming out of the water, and it looks like, oh, he might take up the mantle or something like that, although I couldn't really imagine.
Batman Beyond.
Yeah. He could have been that type of Batman, a very different kind.
That would have been, oh my goodness.
They need to make that.
I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt would be a good role for that.
Yeah. I think so. No. Give it to Tom Holland. I'm kidding.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
But it just seems so strange that, because I think Man of Steel came out in 2013. It came out the year afterwards, and that's technically the start of this cinematic universe for DC that has at this point really gone nowhere. Why not? Why didn't they just piggyback off of what they started with Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises? Those were such good movies. It's like, those are by and large so much better than any other version of Batman we've seen on film to date. And I mean, even taking in Christian Bale's weird voice for Batman that everyone loves to mock, even with that in there, they're still amazing movies. And you could have found a way to work it in and kind of have that be the springboard for a cinematic universe. You would have had one going longer than Marvel, so it wouldn't seem so forced when you have Batman and Superman meet up together for a movie. Because I actually like that idea. I just think it was stupid that was movie number 2 in DC's cinematic universe.
Also, didn't they say that Jesse Eisenberg wasn't Lex Luthor?
Wait, what?
Well, Jesse Eisenberg played Lex Luthor, but didn't they say that, no, that wasn't Lex Luthor, that was his...
Are you kidding me? Is that what they said? I didn't hear about that, if that's...
Oh, well, if not, then they ruined Lex Luthor, because that's now canon in the DC universe, that Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor, and now we have to deal with Jesse Eisenberg is playing as Lex Luthor, and I can't stop saying Jesse Eisenberg because it's such a wrong role. Because wasn't no,
they goofed up.
Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say it seems like they're realizing a little bit late to the party on this, but they are realizing hey, we had something good going with these detective-based stories that we had in the Christopher Nolan films. Maybe we should go back to that with the Ben Affleck film. And it does seem like I believe it was the director for the film. Yes. Matt Reeves, when talking about... I can't help but say Ben Affleck Batman movie or DC Cinematic Universe Batman movie. He did say that they want to return to that feel that the Dark Knight trilogy had, which I think would be great. I think that that would actually, at least for the Batman films in this cinematic universe, would do a whole lot better if you did go back to something more like that, other than just the awfulness that was Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman. I've heard, I think that the combat was done very well as far as like choreography for like him taking down a room of people. It was very like Arkham Asylum like, and very brutal, very fast. And I think, and it was probably better than what we actually saw in the Dark Knight, because I think some of the fight scenes, that was probably the weakest part of the Dark Knight trilogy, was some of the fight scenes weren't that great, especially the Bane fight scene. I thought was just kind of like, oh yeah, there it is, he fights Bane. Did he break his back? I don't really know if he did break his back. Oh, he just displaced it. Well, that's not really breaking his back. But I do think that the tone, if they focus on that tone, that's a good thing to shoot for these movies, because they're excellent. It gives me a little bit more hope about what DC does with their franchises, because as good as Wonder Woman was, they're still lagging behind Marvel, and I would like to see them catch up, because if they catch up, then Marvel will have to do better, because they'll be competing again, and competition's always a good thing.